NBA insider Michael Scotto has revealed some potential New York Knicks trade plans if the team decides to make some in-season deals, something Leon Rose has been a fan of doing throughout his tenure with the New York Knicks. And we're going to break this down as two different guys were highlighted, as you just saw in the intro. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as usual. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. 26% of viewers are subscribed. And also, we're closing in on 10,000 subs. We're at 9K right now. Let's keep it coming. Let's get to 10K before 2025, and we'll do something special on the channel. Haven't figured it out yet. We need to make it a pretty big, exciting thing, so we'll get into that. But, guys, let's talk about the Knicks. That's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. The New York Knicks have made a trade in the season every single year that Leon Rose has been the president of basketball operations. They've made a trade. They've made a lot of trades since Leon Rose has come in. Leon has not been shy about making multiple moves, whether it's just draft pick trades, whether it's trades involving players, like when he made the move that got them Ed Davis, and then when they traded Ed Davis away and netted 3 second-round picks in the entire experience. And then throughout after that, we've seen multiple other trades, like the Knicks acquiring Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr., the Knicks going out there in the following year, making another trade in the winter in January, acquiring Cameron Reddish for Kevin Knox and a protected first-round pick, and then going out and using Cameron Reddish and another protected pick to trade for Josh Hart the following year. And then after that, obviously, the OG Anunoby trade, followed by the Bogdanovich and Burks trade, then the McHale trade, then the Towns trade. Leon Rose has made a lot of trades over the last 12 months, and now what we're seeing is that time come again when trades are made in the NBA, and Michael Scotto highlighted the New York Knicks as a team to make some trades. And here are some guys who he mentioned. Nobody. No, I'm kidding. Michael Scotto said that following the blockbuster acquisition of Karl-Anthony Towns, who's played like an all-NBA player this season along with Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby has been playing like one of the best two-way wings in the game, and Josh Hart is having the best offensive season of his career. The Knicks still have flexibility to make another trade if necessary, as Knicks center Mitchell Robinson is owed $14.32 million this season and $12.95 million next season, while Precious Achiuwa is on an expiring $6 million deal. Combining both those salaries would give the Knicks a chance to theoretically acquire another player in the $20 million range if there is a fit. Now, something to note here is the Knicks did show interest, according to Scotto. They've shown interest in Clint Capella in the past, and he's a guy who makes around that money. Now, if the Knicks were to trade both those guys in a deal to Atlanta, they'd have to get something back in the form of draft compensation, as that is not a fair trade. Mitchell Robinson himself is alone better than Clint Capella is. And if the New York Knicks go out there and trade Mitchell Robinson, it's a reason that they're going to trade for another big man who is more healthy and probably not as good as Mitchell Robinson, but maybe not terrible. And also having Precious Achiuwa's $6 million, you don't have to combine those. You could also just trade Achiuwa's $6 million to the Charlotte Hornets, along with 2 second-round picks, get you back Nick Richards, someone who was highlighted by Bleacher Report as one of the 3 top theoretical targets for the New York Knicks, along with Drew Eubanks, who doesn't make a ton of money, and Daniel Tice, who doesn't make a ton of money. Now, Tice makes no sense to me. His defense isn't good enough. And frankly, if you're going to make a move, you should most likely trade Precious for Nick Richards, if you ask me, as Mitchell Robinson insurance, given then you're not going to have a spot for Richards to play on the New York Knicks unless you decide to move Mitchell Robinson back to the starting 5 or move Richards there. But look, we're going to see if the New York Knicks are going to go out there and make moves during the season. Every season, Leon Rose has been the president of the New York Knicks. He's made trades, so it would not be shocking to see him go out there and make more trades, knowing that Leon Rose is a guy who wants to be meticulous and wants to get the exact players he wants on the New York Knicks. Now, Scotto talked more about this, saying that, however, the Knicks do believe Mitchell Robinson can anchor their interior defense when he returns from injury in January and can play alongside Karl-Anthony Towns, who could slide over to the power forward. Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau is a strong advocate for Mitchell Robinson and believes he can help the team win in the playoffs, which is what we saw last season. We've seen Mitchell Robinson go out there and be effective in the playoffs for the team. He stopped Joel Embiid in a way that Isaiah Hartenstein couldn't. Hartenstein, for all the things that he's great at, and Hartenstein is great at a bunch of things. He's killing it in OKC. but he's not the strongest. You can move through Hartenstein in a way you can't through Mitchell Robinson, and Mitch showed that when guarding Joel Embiid. I mean, very quickly, he started getting more minutes than Hartenstein in that series against Joel Embiid and the 76ers because Robinson was giving Joel Embiid a lot of hell. Now, 76ers fans like to claim that it's because, oh, Joel Embiid was injured. Yeah, so was Mitch, and Embiid injured him further. So, shut up. But, no, in all seriousness, we've seen Mitchell Robinson be a very useful part of this team in the past, and I don't really want the Knicks to trade him. Maybe I'm biased. I mean, I do love Mitchell Robinson. He's my favorite player on the Knicks. I think it's incredible that this guy is so fun to watch with the fact that he's purely a defensive anchor and offensive rebounder, but he just does all the dirty work. And for all the problems the New York Knicks have, Mitchell Robinson solves around 95% of them. The Knicks' biggest problems right now are the fact that they don't have a rim protector who's playing consistent enough minutes, and they also do not have good offensive and defensive rebounding. It's not bad, it's just not great. We've seen Karl-Anthony Towns anchor the defense more than anyone else has throughout this season. Or not anchor the defense, anchor the rebounding. Sorry, that sounds ridiculous. Anchor the rebounding more than anyone else this season with his 12 rebounds per game while also putting up 27 points and 3 assists, and also shooting around 50% from three. These numbers are a tiny bit old. There's been a few games since then. We have to update that, but still the point stands. Karl-Anthony Towns has been a phenomenal rebounder for the New York Knicks, and getting Mitchell Robinson back makes the Knicks an elite rebounding unit, something that Tom Thibodeau likes. And with that, you also get your anchoring back. Also, having a guy like Precious Achiuwa is going to help a ton with that. Scotto also mentions that, saying that it's worth noting that Achiuwa averaged 12.5 points on 52% shooting, 9.5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal in 18 starts last season. Achiuwa was very, very good for the New York Knicks last season. And looking ahead, sharpshooter Landry Shamet is expected to be re-signed by the Knicks when he's healthy, if he can get back from that shoulder injury, dislocating his right shoulder without having surgery done. And hopefully stretch forward Matt Ryan will then clear waivers and re-sign on a 2-way contract according to Hoops Hype. That's what Michael Scotto has heard about Landry Shamet, and that does make sense if Leon Rose wants to go out there and make that move. Matt Ryan has not been good for the New York Knicks so far, and he's got a lot of time to clear that up, don't get me wrong. But in the 6 games Ryan's appeared in, he's only averaging 2 points, and a lot of this has been garbage time once he showed he was really struggling. He's only shooting 31% from the field, and he's shooting 30% from 3, way down from his career averages. I mean, before this season began, Matt Ryan was averaging 45% from 3. Now it's down to 40 in just 6 games. Ryan has not been putting up the ball well at all. The man has struggled a lot with the New York Knicks so far, and it feels like Tom Thibodeau does not trust Matt Ryan. Now, at the same time, Precious Achiuwa has been very good over his time with the Knicks, off the bench or as a starter, as we know. So that is something to note. And Jericho Sims has really picked up his play a lot. Now, he's not playing the most minutes, but he's shooting 72% from the field. He's getting 2 points and 4 rebounds. He's also getting 1 assist per game, and he has the best rim protection field goal percentage at the opponent field goal percentage at the rim in the NBA at 33%. So Jericho Sims has shown a lot more comfortability. I was trashing him a lot, but he definitely has gotten it together. He's been playing better basketball now, and we're seeing Sims look more comfortable on really the defensive end on the court, which is super helpful. So you understand that it's good for the Knicks to have a guy like Sims, but also having Mitchell Robinson replace Jericho Sims is just going to be huge for this team. And also having Precious Achiuwa is going to be huge, as Achiuwa can play the 4 and play next to Karl-Anthony Towns, while still giving Towns enough spacing that he can work in one-on-ones at the rim, something that's led to him putting up 27 points per game this season and looking very good. The New York Knicks are in great position to succeed as it is, and they don't need to necessarily make a trade. Essentially, for the New York Knicks, if you ask me, getting Mitchell Robinson back halfway through the season is going to effectively feel like the trade that they made. Remember, after the Knicks have made a few of these trades, whether it was the Derrick Rose, the Josh Hart, or the OG Anunoby trade, the Knicks have went on huge winning streaks after all 3 of those. They've been much better after that, and it's always happened around a similar time in the early new year, or in OG's case, literally on New Year's Eve. But With this, what we're seeing is Mitchell Robinson will come back and the Knicks will be much better as their rebounding will instantly improve along with their rim protection. Now, that's also noting that Jericho Sims is going to be huge for the New York Knicks return. Not Jericho Sims. Precious Achiuwa is going to be great in his New York Knicks return, and that is expected to come very soon. I will do a full video breaking down Achiuwa's return because that is going to be so helpful for this New York Knicks team. Achiuwa, I almost called him Sims again. I'm not even kidding. Achiuwa is very helpful to the team. He makes them better. He's not afraid of the dirty work. And essentially acquiring these guys back after their injuries is going to feel like trades that they made. The Knicks don't necessarily have to go out there and make trades this year. And we're going to see really if they have to once Mitch and Achiuwa are back more than anything. And I do think they're going to need some sort of a forward, not exactly what Matt Ryan brings to the table, so waiving him might not be the worst idea. And if you need to free up more money because you can't go into the second apron, the Knicks are legally not allowed to. It's not just they don't want to, they legally cannot this season. They might have to trade Precious Achiuwa for a smaller contract to do so. You can't trade Mitch for a smaller contract. Plus, they're going to trade him next year when his deal's expiring because the Knicks are just going to let him walk so they could re-sign Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. So Mitch is going to be on this team for the rest of this season, I'd imagine, before getting traded next year. Whereas Precious Achiuwa, if the Knicks have to make a trade for financial reasons and decide they want to forward more instead, someone who could play the 3 or the 4, and they'll be comfortable with that, and maybe not getting Landry Shamet back and waiving Matt Ryan in the process, you open up the money to do that. And even if you just caught $1 million by trading Achiuwa for Nick Richards, it makes Mitch expendable over the summer when they decide to re-sign Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart over Mitch. So that's a kind of a look into what I'd see Leon Rose doing. If I had to guess, if the Knicks were to trade one guy on their roster this year, it's Precious Achiuwa, because there's a very good chance that he will not be re-signing with the Knicks over the summer and looking for a bigger role of the team, even if it's with a worse team. So they might want to trade him. You can get Nick Richards, free up $1 million in cap space, then also waive Matt Ryan, and then sign a forward, and boom, you did it. You could also put Matt Ryan back on that two-way by waiving Boo Bui. I mean, he's a point guard. The Knicks have enough point guards between Brunson and Deuce who could play the combo guard, and Cameron Payne and Tyler Kolek. You don't exactly need Boo Bui on that two-way contract at all. The Knicks just like his production from 3. That's why he's there, but this has been a long video, so I'll catch y'all later. Have a great day. Go Knicks. Make sure to subscribe, like this, and turn on post notifications. Or don't. I'm not your boss. I can't tell you what to do.